hello, welcome back to the Upset Special. It's about time. Look at Jake smiling, Dave fist pumping, Josh fist pumping. That's what it means to us. Look what it means to them. The Upset Special is back. It's very fun. It's good stuff. Again, Jake, Dave, Josh with me here today, and if you're unfamiliar with this, it's very simple. College football is full of upsets. We're going to predict some upsets, two each, maybe talk about a few others that didn't make the cut. And before we start, I just want to take a trip down memory lane. I'll let each of you share your most memorable upset pick from last year. For me, it was taking a Japanese college football team, and that just goes to show these are the memories, guys. Let's just trip down memory lane, Jake.
The only pick I remember from last year was Florida over Utah week 1. I'm gonna be honest with you. All my picks last year, they were all horrible. They were horrible.
I don't
So
remember
I
the
think I hit.
standings.
I don't remember either. I think I hit 2 or 3. Definitely 2. I don't know, but my most memorable was. So I can't really remember them, but I know it was like the D3 playoff or something, and I took somebody to upset.
Ithaca.
Yeah, and then Ithaca lost like 60-0. So that I remember that one. That's the only one I remember.
What about you, Josh? Is there one you remember?
I was a guest picker, so I only had 2 picks. I'm not going to talk about the one I got wrong. I got Akron right over Buffalo, and so that's my most memorable. But also that Japanese team, I kind of got in contact with them to buy some merch, but then it just disappeared. So I'm kind of sad because I actually wanted to. What was it like Green Dolphin merch?
It
or
was the
something?
Green Dolphins. Yeah, I forget their school name, but it was the Green Dolphins, and they were playing Kwansei Gakuen, who was playing a game against Southern Oregon in the spring of 2024. So be on the lookout for that, Japanese college football fans. Nonetheless, we're into it. Week 1. Can't wait for this to start. About time. We'll start. Who wants to start and share their first upset? Nobody. You're all cowards. Well, the first person then could be you, the viewer. Please comment an upset or two that you see happening. Make sure to like and subscribe. And Jake, I'm putting you on the stand, man. I need your first upset.
All right, so my first pick of the year, I am going with Boise State over Washington. I love this pick. I think that the line is really disrespectful. Last I checked, it was 14.5. I think that that's just absolutely disrespectful to Andy Avalos and all that he's built over there in Boise. Really like Taylon Green's athleticism. I got the chance to witness him play in the bowl game against North Texas. That guy moves extremely well for a guy in a really big frame, and he also just has really good skills throwing the football. And I think that that running back core with George Holani and Ashton Jeanty, with Jeanty probably taking up more of the workload, I'd imagine, this year because he is just the more dynamic back, combined with Latrell Caples and Stephon Cobbs. I think that that has great potential to be a good wide receiving core this year.
Caples is out for the season.
Caples is out for the season.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I believe it was Achilles or ACL, one of the two.
All right, that's on me for not double checking that. But nonetheless, I'm sticking with my pick. I do think that that defense could be a little bit shaky in stopping Michael Penix, but nonetheless, I'm taking the Broncos this weekend.
I like and I hate the pick because one, it's really good for my Boise State agenda that team could go 11-1 if things go well. I'd really like Prince Strawn, the brother of Michael Strawn, who's I don't even know if he's with the Colts anymore, but he was for a minute. He went to Charleston College, not to be confused with the College of Charleston. He went to college in West Virginia. But I really like Jambres Dubar. I believe he's a Texas kid, true freshman running back at Boise State, who they're all talking about as a guy he's demanding reps because he's that special of a player. So he's a third guy in the running back room that's going to excite. And there's some guys on a defense I could talk about, but why do that? The vibes speak for itself with Boise State, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I like the potential of running a multiple back set, especially if you can get Jeanty and Holani on the field at the same time. Jeanty could be a pass catching back at some points this year, so that excites me. My only thing is that Washington offense I think is going to be really difficult to slow down, but nonetheless, I do really like the pick. This week's board is not great for upsets. A lot of huge lines out there. but this is definitely the one I think I feel the most confident in.
Who wants to go next?
Dude, I'm still searching. I'm going back and forth on a couple. I don't know. I have one. I want my dramatic one. I have one locked in, but I want that to be
All
my
right.
next one. It's
All
gonna be
right.
my
Okay,
second
fair
one.
enough.
All right, go
So I
for it,
guess
Josh. Or
I could go
I'll
with
go.
one
I'll go,
more
Dave.
time.
Yeah, you go.
I got
You
it.
go, Josh. And if you
I-
steal the one I was gonna say, I'm gonna be very upset.
Okay, no, because I kind of want this one. I'm gonna take Hawaii over Stanford.
That was what I was looking at.
Let's go. All right,
It's not the one though.
Hawaii. They have a game under their belts. They've got live game reps in against Vandy. I know it's Vandy, but hey, they got crushed by Vandy last year, and they went to Vandy and they put up a good fight. They're at home. Braden Shager looks awesome. Colt Brennan Award watch. Top candidate right now. And the thing is, Stanford is going to be really, really bad this year. People like really, really bad. Please know that. And so, this honestly, I know Hawaii isn't like the greatest, but they look a lot better than last year. And there's the whole like fires in Hawaii. I went and I counted. There's 51 players on the roster from Hawaii, or at least they went to like high school in Hawaii or something like that. So there's the emotional juice that they're gonna get there. So I think I'm gonna take Hawaii just because I think they're on the up and up. And again, I don't think Stanford's gonna be really good this year. And this is like one of the few games where Stanford's gonna be a favorite. Like my bookie has it like Stanford -3.5 right now. We were talking about
It
this a
was
few
up
days
at
ago.
8.
Yeah, it was higher. People are like understand that, hey, Stanford isn't that good. So
It's
um
actually just Coach Chang moving the line. He's banging up for himself because
exactly.
he believes in his
Exactly.
guys so much.
Betting on himself, unlike those Iowa State players and Iowa players. Yeah.
You ready, Dave?
All right, yeah, I'm ready. I'm just doing a little bit of research because I've had a lot going on. It's not that I'm underprepared today, just that I'm not as prepared as I have been last year. My next one is wild. This one, it really all depends about how the defense holds up, but I'm taking the North Mean Green to defeat the Cal Bears at home, week 1. I just think that Cal is. I know they have Jaden Knott. I know that they have guys on Cal, but I just think that the atmosphere in North Texas is going to be a lot of fun. I think they got a lot to play for now that they're in the AAC. They're not a Conference USA team anymore. New era with Eric Morris coming in, which I think he'll take he'll bump up the offense. That offense can be run and gun. Basically, North Texas needs a couple stops, and they're going to have to just keep the offense going, which I think they'll be able to. If they can stop Cal once or twice late, they will win the game, and the place will explode. So give me North Texas beating Cal. And I know it's only a touchdown spread, but I think that's enough because I forget the rules that we had.
I mean, yeah, like usually, we'll cross that bridge when you get there. But Cal's offense is very exciting. I'm kind of very upset to see so many people backing the Mean Green because it makes me sad as a guy that loves this Cal offense with Sam Jackson at quarterback he's gonna be a fan favorite once Twitter actually starts watching that kid play with Jay and Not with Jeremiah Hunter. Like Cal's got a nasty trio. A big three, if you will, move over LeBron, Wade, and Bosch. This is the best big three that we've seen possibly since, man, I don't know, a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean they'll definitely be a lot of fun, but I just think the line there is kind of telling you, like if
Perhaps,
they
yes.
were it's gotta be something with the defense because it's only a touchdown. It's North Texas against the Power One. Now I guess you could still call it Power 5, but it's currently still is. But I just think the touchdown is I look at the touchdown. I was like, all right, North Texas, look at the juice at home.
Yeah, I am on record as to saying I'm more confident in Cal beating Auburn than I am in Cal beating North Texas.
Yeah, that's probably very fair to say.
I for my first pick want to take another trip back down memory lane and just say there's a team I took last year and they beat Kansas State. And then I proceeded to pick against them a lot. And I lost a lot. So it's only fitting then the spirit of the upset special, a game that has been on my radar since February. I've been waiting for this game, waiting for revenge, perhaps. I don't know. But I've been waiting for South Alabama, who I think is in my opinion, a top 25 team, perhaps the most complete team in all the group of 5. waiting for the Jaguars to get their chance to beat a top 25 Tulane team on the road. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm sorry, there's some regression coming for the Green Wave, and that's okay to say. It's okay. They're going to start 0-2. They might start 0-3 if they also lose to Southern Miss. That could be an upset special foreshadowing. I don't know. But Tulane's in for regression. Shady Clay and Johnson is someone that they really need to step up and break out at running back with the loss of Ty J. Spears. There's a lot of other key pieces they left. I know they have Michael Pratt and Sincere Hainsworth and stuff, but they lost some good players. They lost some weapons, key pieces. And guess what? Regression exists. And it's okay to recognize that. And when you're playing such a powerhouse like South Alabama, you're bound to just run into a wall, man, and fall down. So when Yam Banks and that ferocious defense and an offense with LaDamian Webb, who's a Power 5 level running back, go in there and beat Tulane, don't be surprised. You could just celebrate with me and the fellas on the upset special as we all cash our South Alabama +7s and money lines at like +205 or so. Let's make some money doing it. Let's take the Jaguars and thank me later. And if I'm wrong, one, yikes. Two, I can't be wrong. It can't happen. I can't lose again.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, this is
Thank you.
I love Damian Webb. Ever since I took the Damian Webb I took him as I know Dylan took him as the impact player of the week this week. It took a couple weeks ago. Not a couple weeks ago. I took him last year. And he ran for like 275 and 3 touchdowns. So I was like, this is my guy. So I'm gonna follow him closely. He is awesome. I think he'll go off against Tulane. And I mean, if he's going, then South Alabama has a real shot.
Hey man, just join me here. Put on a parlay or something. Let's ride.
I might take the money line. I might do it right now.
Good. This is what the upset special does, Jake. What
It's
do
a
you
bet.
got?
All right. I first of all want to issue an apology to the state of Washington. This is nothing personal.
No,
No.
No,
that's cruel.
No. The line on this game has me feeling a little something. Every time I
Okay.
check, I've looked at this line several times this week, and it's creeping down more and more. We're down to 10.5 points right now,
It
and I'm
is.
taking the Colorado State Rams
Yes.
over
love-
Washington State this weekend. I
love
do
this
this team could take down Cam Ward, and I have a couple reasons why. Clay Millen and Tony Horton. That is a great duo. Tony Horton might be the best receiver in all of the group of 5, coming back for another year. Justice Ross Simmons, another great freshman that Colorado State had last year. I think he has the real opportunity to step up here, and this team looked a lot more improved as we got later down into the season last year. I believe they only won 3 games last year, but I think that Colorado State is a team that could take a big jump this year in the group of 5, and I just really like their chances. It is a home game for the Rams against Washington State, and I think that line to me just tells me that there might be a little something brewing.
Thank you for talking up Justice Ross Simmons, because when I look at a Jay Norvell coach team, I know they need multiple receivers to go and do lethal damage, and he's going to have a big breakout campaign. I think he's going to be like Norvell's new Romeo Dobbs. 2, though, Torrey Horton, best receiver in the group of 5 over Malachi Corley.
I said maybe.
Okay.
He might be the best receiver in the group of 5. I love Tony Horton.
He's very good, but he's very, very good. But Malachi Corley, Malachi would be the WR1 on a lot of Power 5 teams, including SEC programs and such. Malachi is different. I like Horton though. I respect it. Hey man, good luck going against Cam Ward.
Well, the defense is a little bit shaky. Is the offense that I was looking more towards, because that offense really has struggled over the past couple of years to put up any sort of points. But luckily last year, I think that Clay Millen really did step up as the year went on. And my confidence in him is driving this pick. And I think that Colorado State defense as well could really step up. Drew Kulik, at linebacker, is somebody that I found that was really improved. And he's somebody that I think could really step into a leadership role for this team. And I do think that if they can get some get some stops along the way, I do think that they could pull off the upset in Fort Collins.
I do also, again, Justice Ross Simmons is such a big piece in this game because Washington State's CB1, who I think should be a first round pick, doesn't get talked about much right now. Shaw Smith Wade is an absolute monster. And like I talked to Dayon Henley, who played for Washington State last year, got drafted by the Chargers. He just talked about Smith Wade with me and said that dude is just different. The instincts that he's got, how he gets nasty and run support, he's just a different breed with physicality and everything. So the matchup between Smith Wade and Horton is going to be must see TV. It's going to be cinema. If Ross Simmons could go out there in the WR2 role and really carve up, Jake might be on with something. But he's the most hated man in Washington. So
yeah, you're sniffing around with that line for sure. 11 against a historically not like, I mean, they're not bad. I don't think they'll be very bad this year, but the past couple years they've been a rough program to watch. 11 is it's still at 11, right? Last I checked, it was 11.
It's like 10, 10 and a half.
10 and a half is the latest one that I saw. Literally checked an hour ago. It was 11 and a half. So the line just moved.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you're sniffing a rat there. So I do like the pick. I honestly don't know much about Colorado State, but I'll just hunt the lines and we've watched Washington State in the past where like they're very iffy at times, and if Colorado State can capitalize, then I could definitely see that happening.
Because this is the kind of week one game for a team with like Washington State that I think has a chance to do something like genuinely special this year. With all the pieces that they have, they can't sleep on Colorado State. Colorado State is a team that looked horrible last year, and I think could actually end up being a decent team in the Mountain West.
I was just going to say, if it's a look ahead game while Washington State's looking ahead to Wisconsin, I could see that. Man, I hope you're wrong though. I really hope Wazoo wins.
Like I said, apologies to the state of Washington. It's nothing personal. I just really like the line in this game, and I think that there's a lot of potential here.
All right, Josh.
I'm gonna jump in real quick on this. So last year Washington State opened up against Idaho at home, and they barely beat Idaho. And I know Idaho is a really good team, but they got to go to Colorado State, and this is at elevation, well, almost a mile up. They're not used to this height. They're not used to this awesome passing game that's going to happen. They're not used to a Colorado State defense that has dudes at all three levels of the defense. I had Colorado State as another one of my picks. That's why I was really excited for this. So I'm with you, Jake. I like this pick. I like this pick a lot.
Are you diving into the Mountain West for another one, Josh?
I have a few here. I will, and then at the end, maybe I'll touch on my other ones. I'll touch on this one. So you guys are talking about lines and stuff, and like it's for people who like really want to do this well, who aren't me, follow what these three guys are talking about. And I understand what they're talking about, but I'm just going off vibes. And my vibes are telling me that Sunday, yes, college football on a Sunday. And this isn't some bowl game. This is a regular season game. San Jose State. Last I checked, they were 16 plus 16 and a half versus Oregon State. And I love Oregon State. I love them so much. I thought if they had a pulse at quarterback last year, they would have been undefeated, and they did not. Now they got DJU, and I don't know, is that any better? I think it's slightly better.
It is better.
I think it is. I think
he's going to be good.
The change of scenery, he's a guy that needed to change the scenery really bad.
Change of scenery, he doesn't have to do anything. He just has to be a game manager and be competent.
Exactly. And like that's why I kind of think they're gonna snipe Washington and end Washington's hopes of anything later in the season. But anyways, back to this game. The thing is though, this is a battle of two teams who were having construction in the stadium. They're both done. Yep. San Jose State, Oregon State stadiums look amazing now that they're completed. But now they got to go to San Diego State. Oregon State does. And San Jose State, they have Cordero. They have Nick Nash, who looked amazing. And I know USC's defense is awful, but still Nick Nash looked amazing. And the thing is, Oregon State has really, really promising guys in the secondary. But the thing is that they lost a few dudes to the NFL. And so replacing that talent is going to be a little difficult, especially in the first game. And kind of like in my first pick with Hawaii, where they already had a game under their belt, San Jose State, they played another Pac-12 team. They played USC. They played pretty well in the Coliseum. Now at home, new digs, freshly built stadium. I think they might be able to get Oregon State here. So that's where I'm going with my second pick here. I got the Spartans taking down the Beavers, which really hurts my heart because I do love those Beavers. But
I hate
Sometimes
you
it's not your
guys.
day.
I hate you guys. You guys are picking on the Pac-12 in its final year. What is wrong with you? Like, let's just look at the picks here. Dave against the Pac-12. Jake against the Pac-12 against the Pac-12. Josh against the Pac-12 against the Pac-12. 5 picks between you guys, and you've all picked against the Pac.
It's more I'm favoring the Mountain West. I'm high on the Mountain West
No,
this
you're
year.
all hating on the
As
Pac-12,
opposed to the
kicking it
Pac-12.
while it's down. George,
No,
please,
mine
was-
Koskin,
yes.
and you guys
Mine
are
was
very
definitely
angry.
Pac-12 slander.
Let me be clear.
See?
I'm higher on Washington this year than a lot of people. I just really like Boise State.
So do I. How do you
I
think
really
it
like San
feels,
Jose
man? How do you think it
Hey,
feels as a guy
I was
that has
Pac-12
Boise State as potentially the best group of 5 team? I would say they're in the top 30 right now. I think Western Kentucky is the best group of 5 team. But like I could see Boise State being that 11-1 team. But I also have Washington in the playoffs. So like this was the worst game possible for them to it hurts, man.
One of your agendas is
It's
taking a
cooked.
nosedive.
Because
Yeah.
Boise State's non-conference schedule is so tough. They have Washington, they have UCF, they have Memphis. They've got to run the table, go 11-1 if they lose this game, man. But golly, you guys are being really mean to the Pac-12, and it's so cool. So Dave, just pick against the Pac-12 again. I know it's coming. It's Coastal Carolina over UCLA. Yep.
This team has played opening game spoiler in the past, and I'm sniffing around with this line. It's a little out there. I had a couple other teams in this conference, kind of maybe they can upset, maybe they can. I am going with the Central Michigan Chippewas over Michigan State.
Wow.
And here is why. The line is only 14. A MAC team should not only be a 14-point dog going into a Big Ten team. Everybody knows this Michigan State team isn't going to be good. They haven't named their quarterback yet. Apparently, it's still I don't know if it's a 3-guy race or whatnot. I wrote the preview in our magazine. If you haven't got that, just get it now. For Central Michigan,
Good
and I think McElwain listed Jace Bauer and Bert Emanuel Jr. as the co-starters. So I expect him to go out there and kind of run both of them. But like the Michigan State defense was very, very, very bad last year. And I don't see them getting much better because they have a lot of guys coming back. And I think this is going to be the Bert Emanuel show. And he's going to run all over this defense. And they're going to win close late, just like not in like a crazy fashion like they beat Oklahoma State a couple of years ago. But I mean, Central Michigan, I think they can do it. And I will be taking plus 14 and sprinkling the money line. And I'm going to be so excited when they beat Michigan State.
You're going to be so excited when the ghost of Lou Nichols is out there.
So he's Green Bay Packer Lou Nichols. I think he made the team. No,
Look,
I think he got cut actually.
Here's the thing. If Michigan State does indeed roll with Noah Kim, I hate Michigan State's team, but I really like their quarterback if it's Noah Kim. Like, I think Noah Kim's a gamer. I think he's really good. I think he's a breakout player. I've said it since, like, I don't know, January or February. The Noah Kim is him tweets are going to nauseate you like nothing else. It's going to be it's going to fill your timeline. I think he's good. But man, that Michigan State team is so bad. And someone to highlight for CMU is Dante Kennett, cornerback, who's going to make life tough, whether it's Noah Kim or someone else at quarterback for Michigan State. He's physical. He's nasty. He's a really good pass disruptor. I've been talking about him as an NFL guy since like 2021. He's been in college for Perry Ellis levels, it's felt like. Dante Kent's a monster. But, yeah, man. Thank you for going with the Max and not pick on the Pac-12.
Yeah, dude, I was between. I thought about Toledo over Illinois, and I thought about Akron over Temple, but I was like, this is the one because the two running backs, Miles Bailey, Marion Lukes, ran behind Nichols, so they know the system, and the offensive line is like pretty experienced for a MAC offensive line. Like these guys they know the system, and they're just gonna run the ball down your throat for the most part. And with Burt back there, they are going to run the ball, and I really hope they win this game because it'd be so funny.
All right, I'm gonna go with the final pick here. I'm gonna read you guys some game history here, and you tell me if you know the matchup. 2011, the score is 20-19. 2013, the score is 28-20. 2015, it was 31-7. 2016 was 25-20 for a team you wouldn't expect. 2017, 42-24, high scoring, weird, random. 2019, triple OT, 29-26. 2021, 16-10.
I got this. I know what this is. This is one of my picks. I better know what this is. If not, that'll be a crazy coincidence.
Well, say it.
I'm giving the other guys a shot if they want first.
Oh,
Oh, I like the
okay.
St. John shirt, man.
Thank you. Go Johnnies, man. You know how it is.
Oh, Johnny's. They're gonna be legit this year.
Hey, we had to go with the
I
mob
honestly have
ties
no
here.
idea.
Shout out, Patino. So,
All right.
Josh, just say it. Just say it.
I'm gonna say it. This is Northern Iowa versus
Correct.
Iowa State,
Correct.
baby.
Correct. This is Northern Iowa, Iowa State.
Northern Iowa beating Iowa State.
Northern Iowa picked off Iowa State in
They-
2013 and 2016.
that
They have played two very tightly contested games in 2021 and 2019. This is always a game. No matter who Northern Iowa's playing, when they're playing, they're always like usually playing an Iowa-based FBS team. Is just how it is with Northern Iowa, whether it's Iowa State, Iowa, whatever works. I always float to it. I just think, wow, I'd love to see Northern Iowa win this year. I would love to see it. Why not this year when we're talking about the gambling that is destroying the insides of the Cyclones locker room, tearing everybody apart? Hunter Decker's parents encouraging him to bet on his team to be good or like not score points and win, whatever. It's tearing apart the program, man. And you know what? Northern Iowa's got a really good chance to go out there and beat this team while they're all gambling on each other to fail or whatever. I don't care. When we look at Northern Iowa, what do we have? Theo Day, an incredible quarterback. We have Sergio Moranci, who broke out last season with like 20-something catches, 500-ish yards, 6 touchdowns. He'll be a breakout receiver. Nice guy to have. Trevor Penning's brother, Jared Penning. Yeah, the Penning name. The psychotic offensive tackle family. Jared Penning's there. He's the lone returning starter on Northern Iowa's offensive line. So that could be a worry, but Penning's there, and Penning I trust. He's a Senior Bowl watch list guy. And then on defense, the man, the myth, the legend, all name team phenom, Woo Governor, is out there making plays. If you think that you're throwing on Woo Governor, you're sadly mistaken. You could give me Northern Iowa in this one, 24-19, a gross and ugly one. The spread is not out yet. I will be taking Northern Iowa. I could even add my number 19 team in the FCS top 25 preseason poll. Go buy the Mex.
My whole thing is like, even if Hunter Deckers was starting for Iowa State, like,
I would
does it
still
really
take
matter?
it.
Like, their
No.
offense is bad, dude. Their offense is bad.
No,
Their offense was bad last year.
the gambling was just an excuse.
It was just an excuse. Like, it's really just
But
like,
yeah,
hey,
he
man,
was
this is
just-
like,
it was-
it's just a
I
cover.
was taking the Panthers anyway. Come on.
But yeah, that 2019 game, like, Northern Iowa should have won, except that Iowa State finally, like, hey, wait a second, we have Breece Hall in our team, and they just fed him the rock in like the final like moments and like got out of there with a victory. But
Like,
yeah, I almost picked this. I almost picked this one, you know, but
I'm glad you
I had to
did.
go.
I
I
loved
had
it
to
for you.
apparently go against the Pac-12. Like, Liam
Yeah, you do. Look, there have been
doesn't want to be
worse-
positive.
There
I'm
have
hyping
been
up the Mountain West.
there have
you know?
been worse Northern Iowa teams to contend or beat better Iowa State teams than what is happening this year. It's a better Northern Iowa team that they've had, and this is like, I think this Northern Iowa team is really good. Some of the pieces I named I like are really good players, and this Iowa State team reeks. So I'm going to predict the spread too. I think the spread's going to be like 14.5. I think it's going to be on the lower end for a FBS FCS game.
Yeah, I don't have a lot for you there. Sounds like a great pick, though.
Thanks, man.
I know nothing about Northern Iowa, and I'm not afraid to admit that.
It's okay. I'll be
just because
back
of the
in like.
familiarity of the
Wait, go Dave.
I was gonna say just because the familiarity between the two teams, I didn't know they played that often, and Iowa State's offense does stink, so I could certainly see it happening.
Thank you. I was gonna say, Jake, I'll be back in like 2 weeks to pick a high over Iowa State, so I'll have more Iowa State slander for you. No worries.
All right, there you go.
All right. those are our picks. We'll run them down. Dave, North Texas over Cal, Central Michigan over Michigan State. Josh, Hawaii over Stanford, San Jose State over Oregon State. Jake, Boise State over Washington, Colorado State over Washington State. Me, South Alabama over Tulane, Northern Iowa over Iowa State. What's the worst pick there? What's the best pick?
Central Michigan's the best pick.
Okay.
Also, I just want to add real quick. I'm looking at the MAC schedule right now. Don't be surprised if you see like one of these teams knock somebody off. Kent State obviously won't.
Nope.
But
Worst
like
team ever.
terrible. Central Michigan, maybe.
This is
Miami of
bad.
Ohio has a shot. Ball State won't beat Kentucky. Bowling Green could beat Liberty.
Whoa. Why are you slow?
Northern
Ball
Illinois could beat
State.
Boston College. Huh?
Northern Illinois was almost one of my picks, but I wanted to go to the Northern Iowa route. Ball State can compete with Kentucky. We know how ugly Kentucky games
Yeah.
could get. Northern Iowa competed with Kentucky last year. Ball State has one of the best tight end duos in the country with Brady Hunt and Tanner Koziel.
Dude, honestly, this is not the. I mean, I don't think I'm allowed to. I don't think I can do the betting show anymore. But just do a MAC teaser. Like, just take all these teams because they all have a legit shot, except Buffalo probably. But the MAC is. I think the MAC is pretty good this year.
Mac is back.
And for the MAC is Maction. Just go Maction this week. Just whatever you see a MAC team, take them.
You know how badly I wanted to pick Buffalo just to make a statement, plant the flag that Wisconsin's actually not that good.
Tanner Mordecai, not great.
And I don't know if it's my thank you. That's a human being right there that knows his football. Thank you, Dave. I don't know if I'm like deluding myself into saying this. I don't know what the spread is. If I had to guess, maybe like 26.5, 27.
28.5.
I could see Buffalo making it a game. I could see him making it a game, and I don't know if it's delusion, but
They could. They just got to move the ball.
just gotta move the ball.
Go Mac.
Josh,
Back.
you want to share some of the picks that didn't make the cut before we gap on out here?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go from the bottom. I'll say my best for last. So Akron, just because again, like I said, I picked them last year and they were my one successful pick. Them against Temple plus 10 last time I checked. I would have just picked it just for vibes. That's purely vibes. St. Francis, the Red Flash, because that's a cool name over Western Michigan. There's no line for them, but St. Francis was 9-3 last year, and they did take Akron to overtime and they lost just
that
barely.
Game was all-time bad vibes.
Yeah, and like keep an eye on it because Western Michigan does have a bunch of turnover on the offensive side, so they might be trying to figure stuff out. I don't even know if they have a starting quarterback yet. And then my last game, this one I almost went with, but I don't like Wyoming. I don't like Wyoming because their offense just sickens me, and I've always picked against them whenever I can. That being said, playing Texas Tech, they are over a mile above sea level right now, and it's gonna be hard for the Red Raiders to go up there and deal with that elevation. Wyoming's had some success against Power 5 teams going in there. They beat Missouri in 2019, and that's front seven for Wyoming is really, really good. But I just couldn't do it just because I think Texas Tech is sneakily going to be really good, but it might be a look ahead game for them because they are playing against Oregon next week. So that might be their game that they're focusing on.
And I have one more to add that I don't believe that this will happen in any stretch of my imagination, but it also just would not surprise me. I think Central Arkansas could play Oklahoma State pretty close this weekend. I really don't like Oklahoma State a whole lot going into the season this year. Alan Bowman is just really not a great quarterback. And outside of Ollie Gordon, I do think that offense for Oklahoma State is severely lacking. Not a whole lot of direction with them. They got gutted by the transfer portal. They also brought in a lot of guys, but when you have turnover like that, I think that you could have a shaky start to the season. So don't be surprised if Central Arkansas plays Oklahoma State a little bit closer than you were expecting. Not picking them for an upset or anything like that, but I'd take the points on that game.
I need Talon Shetron to break out at receiver for Oklahoma State pretty bad. No, it's nuts. Josh Pate. Gotta respect the guy, does good work, love him what he does. Picked Oklahoma State to make the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, I don't see that one.
That's insane. I get it. Like, I agree. The Big 12, I think, is absurdly mediocre. Like, that and the Mountain West, to me, rival each other for the mediocrity in the middle. Oh my gosh, Oklahoma State, I think, is a bottom feeder in that conference, though. If they lose to Central Arkansas, that's wild. The pick I am surprised didn't get chosen here, especially considering our pick'em sheet, where it's mostly to the underdog, is Coastal over UCLA. A game I would have picked Coastal to win, but all our pickers have picked Coastal, so give me UCLA there. But
Is everyone
like,
really on Coastal?
yeah, it's insane. I was gonna pick Coastal.
I'm on UCLA. I saw all the Coastals. I was like, nope.
Yeah, which I like. I genuinely do think Coastal's gonna win because, and maybe it's me just being so hating towards going into games with multiple quarterbacks set and messing with the flow of the game and chemistry with the receivers and everything. But we saw Jay Kaner and Jalen Cropper. We've seen it from other quarterback receiver duels in the past in the Rose Bowl. Grayson McCall to Jared Brown's gonna make UCLA fans cry. I just know it. Have anything, Josh?
I don't honestly like see like again like what you're talking about. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Coastal wins at all. So like I picked them in the pick 'em sheet, and like I didn't pick him here because I don't honestly see it as an upset. Because like South Alabama should have done it last year, and their offense isn't as good as Coastal's, and then they ran like the worst fake field goal I've ever seen in my life.
Fair.
That was infuriating. But yeah, this wouldn't honestly be an upset to me. It would be awesome. It would be great. I'd be so excited for Coastal and like the national attention that they'll get, but I wouldn't see it as an upset. So that's why I didn't have it on for this upset special.
I understand that, but I also don't see South Alabama as an upset over Tulane. But still had to rep it though. Still, you gotta take the free money, man.
Touchdown.
Yeah, you gotta take the free money. But also UCLA's defense is dreadful. But nonetheless, fellas, good first episode of the upset special this season. Week 1 in the books. We'll be back for week 2. Best of luck to anyone who is predicting upsets out there. It's a tough life. It ain't easy. We'll track records throughout the year and see how it goes. See you on the next one, week 2. Thank you all again. Make sure to like and subscribe. Love you.